Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? I am very excited to come back and to record a podcast episode because I missed one last week and something just doesn't feel right. Like something just always don't feel right whenever I don't record anything because I think I've just become so in the habit of recording something. And when I don't, it just feels like it just feels off, I just don't feel as connected to my work and to what I'm doing. So I'm excited to come back. And I think it's because last week I was and lately, I've been kind of feeling like I'm in a funk a little bit and just kind of feeling a little bit unmotivated to do work. And I think this is something that's actually very important to talk about. And something that I want to also share is that, when you are working with an enforced schedule, maybe you're working for someone else or you are working in an organization, there is an enforced schedule, a certain deadline that you have to follow. And so even though it feels hard, you still kind of do it anyways. But I think when you have your own schedule, you are self-employed, and when you work for yourself, the motivation and the energy really comes from within. And when mentally or emotionally you're not in the right place, it's very easy for you to sink deeper and deeper into like this rut and into this hole. And you just kind of feel like lazy, unmotivated, lethargic overall, and just like feeling like inertia, right? Overall. And it's so much harder for you to get out of this place, especially if you are the one that decides and that sets your own schedule. So this is what I've been feeling lately. And I want to speak from like a very genuine and honest place, really sharing with you about what I'm doing right now to help me get out of this place and what I've been and like I've also had I have these moments less and less now. So that it's kind of like not as frequent. I have these moments, but when I do, I can really sink very deep into it. And so I want to share ways of how I'm doing to get myself out of this place. And like people on the internet and people on social media, they share about how amazing their life is and what they're doing and how like amazing their life is all the milestones and the things that they have achieved. But not enough people talk about when they are in a rut, when mentally and emotionally they're not in the right place, then what do? People only tend to show up when they're feeling good. And so I don't think I'm honestly in a good space right now emotionally, but I still want to show up anyways because this is literally what I preach is that you can feel kind of in a rut and you can feel not in a good place emotionally and you can still show up. And in fact, there's actually um a lot of power to you being able to show up this way. So I'm recording this as a reminder to myself and to really let all of you know that it is possible for you to be here as well. So there are four things that I do to that I'm doing right now to really help me get out of this place. The first thing is you want to get yourself moving again. Really let your physical energy flow and start practice taking small actions. And this is something that I think is very important because sometimes we're like, okay, um, mindset wise, right? I need to be thinking the right things. I need to get myself into the right energy first before I take action. And yet, a lot of the times, the actions themselves help you to get into the right state of mind, the right energy, right? This is literally physics. Like if you think about it, there's this phrase in physics that's about an object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion remains in motion. And so if you find yourself being still for a while, not taking any action in a while, there might be a lot of things that feels like it's you're still doing. in your head. Okay? In your head, you might be overthinking a lot, but physically, externally, you might not be actually doing much, or there might not actually be that much execution towards the things that you actually want to do. And so the first thing you really, really want to focus on is to start taking small, easy actions. Again, I'm not saying very hard actions. Do something that's easy, do something that is small. Okay. By the way, if you hear noise in the background, that is the SkyTrain, which is like the metro, the metro station in Vancouver. And I'm temporarily staying at my friend's place, helping them take care of the dog while they're away. So a new change of environment for me. Yeah, so just a heads up. If you hear noise in the background, that's why. So hopefully you don't mind that. Okay, so back to what we were thinking, what we were saying, right? So it's actually physics. It's literally physics. An object is at rest stays at rest, and object in motion stays in motion. And so when you start taking small actions, that small action actually builds up. After you take the first action, the second action, the third action, the fourth action will feel so much easier when you just build that momentum. And it can be something that's very small, right? And it doesn't even have to be work related at all. So sometimes so what I like to do is I will ask myself, okay, the version of me who is tapped into the frequency of thriving, into the place of like loving their life and really feeling purposeful. What are they doing daily? What are they doing to like not be in this reality of feeling like they're in a rut, right? And when I ask myself this, the answer is, oh, they'll go for a walk. They would um exercise so much more. They might do something that's different in their life, right? So start taking many actions towards that place. And when I ask myself, okay, like what will I do? This is the reason why I decided to record this podcast is that, oh, I just want to speak from my heart and share honestly what I'm going through and let that be what gets me to start moving again. And this is why I'm recording this podcast. And so, um, really ask yourself, right, from a non-pressure way, what will you do to start helping you get out of this place and to start taking some actions? Is it reaching out to someone? Is it messaging a person? Is it getting yourself back um into coaching again, into therapy again, into the courses that you wanted to learn again, right? Do something small. It doesn't even have to be hard. Something small, something easy to start getting yourself back into the momentum of the feeling that you wanted to feel so badly. And if mindset wise, if in your thoughts, it's very hard for you to switch to that place, to immediately tap into that place, then start with the actions because the actions will help you feel as if you're that person and as if you are tapped in. And it'll be so much easier then for you to believe differently, for you to start thinking differently about yourself. So that's the really first thing, right? To start doing something, anything. Take small, easy actions towards the things that you would like to be doing, and let that energy, that the momentum of it build on itself. Okay, the second thing that I think a lot of people miss to whenever they want to help them get out of the ruts is this. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be seen and to declare that, like, and to declare and acknowledge where you are from a very honest place. And it's kind of meta because that's kind of what I'm doing right now, right? And this is what I have found to be so helpful every single time. In the past, whenever I felt a little bit like, not my best self, I would just share honesty and declare honestly that I'm not at my best self. And I would let myself be seen by other people that way. Like I would share on social media or let my friends know that actually I'm just not feeling that well right now. And guess what happens? The moment I declare how I actually feel, it's almost like it removes the shame out of it. whenever we are in a place where we're not feeling our best, we think that, like we should just hide. We kind of like we tend to isolate ourselves and disconnect ourselves with people and like not talk about, not sure about it, and then so that we sink deeper and deeper and deeper into this place. When what actually happens is the moment that you declare how you actually feel and you actually acknowledge it and let yourself be seen and validated this way, it almost like takes the shame out of it and it takes it it like takes your power back from whatever it is that you are going through. You feel so much more in control this way. You feel so much more empowered this way. You're literally taking your power back from the shame. You're taking your power back from the judgment and going like, yes, this is exactly how I'm going through right now, and I'm going to let people know about it. And it kind of like the moment you do that, it takes the shame out of it and you just feel so much more free. You're like, okay, cool. I'm depressed. I let people know I'm depressed, and that's fine, right? And it really shows that there's this let other people know that you can be human. And this is always something that I am constantly telling myself that even though I'm a life coach, I'm still human first. And sometimes I can get into this place where I'm like, oh, you're a life coach. You're not supposed to have these moments where you're depressed, where you're sad, where you're going through things and not feeling motivated. And I have to tell myself that, no, 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 that's not true. Before I'm a life coach, I'm a human first. And that's what I want to offer for you too. Even though you're an amazing business owner, you're amazing creative, you're awesome at what you do. You're very into personal development work. You love to thrive and show other people what is possible. And when you step off all of these roles that the society give us that your ego wants to be attached to, you are human first and foremost. And so are you taking care of your human? Are you letting yourself be seen with your human? Are you letting it be okay that you are human first and letting other people know that it is okay for them to be human as well? Because when you do this, you will help other people free themselves as well to see that, they can have these moments, and that doesn't mean they're not good enough. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It just means that they're human. And when you acknowledge it, when you let yourself be seen this way from people, you remove the shame and you are taking back your power to see that you can be imperfect and that you will just be okay and you will be fine being imperfect. Right? And in a way, it's kind of what I'm doing right now, right? You declare it, you acknowledge it, you let yourself be seen this way. And um, this is often what the first step that I will always do whenever I get myself into a rut is that I let myself just be seen this way. And then I remove the shame of it. I let myself take back power. And then from this place, then it will feel so much easier for me to do more and to take more actions towards what it is that I want to do. Okay, the third thing that I'm also doing right now is to let myself tap tap back into service. Let myself tap back into thinking about other people instead of living in my head, instead of thinking about myself. When I'm in my own mind drama about what's not working, about what's not going well in my life, about how I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet, that's all me focusing on myself and my problems and on my own self-pity and on my own judgment. And when you're in this place, it's like you're not thinking about other people. And what I find every time is when I start thinking about my people, how I can help them, how I can talk to you, how I can connect with you, how even though I'm not at my best right now, I can still provide so much value and be so much more helpful, even when I'm in this place. That gives me so much more reassurance, and that helps me step away from my own mind drama and my own pity and my own tantrum that I want to throw for myself and just be here and just love and just like be tapped into service, right? And be tapped into helping people. And so if you find yourself being a rut, a lot of the times you are living your own drama. And a lot of the times you are focusing on yourself. So, and so really think about how can you how can you be of service to someone today? How can you be there for some people today? And this will help you feel so much more generous. It will help you realize that a lot of your problems are actually not a big deal. And that there are honestly so much greater and worse things that are happening in the world right now, and that your problems are not as bad as you think they are. Right. And so let yourself step out of your own self-judgment and that your own self-interest and really see that your life is good, that everything is honestly okay. You've got food on the table. If you're listening to this podcast, you have the internet that allows you to connect with people from all around the world. You can pay the bills. You have a rooftop over your head. That is so amazing, right? Really be tapped into like this deep sense of gratitude and efficiency, and not efficiency, sufficiency for yourself. And from this place, right, really sink deep into this gratitude for your life right now. And then you can decide from this place, how can you show up and be of service to other people? But first, of course, right, fill up your own cup first. Tend to your own emotional wellness, tend to your own physical wellness, get enough rest. And then from this place, you can really ask yourself, how can you be of service to people? How can you get out of your own mind drama and just focus on helping people? And this will help you to see what is actually important to you and what actually matters, and how can you be tapped back into love and service for other people again. Okay. Now, the last thing that I am doing right now to get myself out of this rut is to get myself actually into the right environments, get myself into the right headspace that will stretch me and that will expand me. So I always let myself be coached. And often after coaching, I will feel so much better. So I have certain environments that I get myself into to help me. It could be like a paid program that I'm in. It could be reaching out to a friend, reaching out to my other life coaching friends or to my coach to get myself be coached and to get out of this headspace, because that's very important. Sometimes we're just like stuck in our own headspace mentally, emotion, repeating the same patterns again and again. And so we have to cut the circuit, right? Look at ways of how you can cut that circuit to get yourself back into a place of like getting yourself be coached. I will also watch a lot of videos that's actually inspiring, listen to podcasts that's actually very helpful to get myself back into that place of like, oh, wanting to do something again, right? Wanting to feel motivated and feel energetic again. So that's what I will do. And also, never forget the power of adding some novelty and adding some kind of challenge into your life. Sometimes after a while, our brain can find things to be kind of boring. And so what we can do is how really ask yourself, how can you add in some newness, some things that maybe like a new workout routine or a new habit that you want to develop for yourself, maybe a new diet, a new way of eating, right? I've been very into new diets lately and just looking at ways of how I can let myself become healthy and really maintain my health. And also because I'm taking care of my friend's dog right now at their place, I'm also really thinking about, oh, are there any new yoga studios nearby that I can try out? and any new places that I can go to, right? To really get myself into that fresh, new, expensive energy again, right? I also like to switch up my work environment, maybe go to a local cafe shop and to sit there and to work there. Maybe it is visiting a new co-working environment and to work from there to really get yourself back into that place of like feeling inspired and feeling energetic and feeling excited again. What are some upgrades that you can add into your life? Maybe it's a nice scented candle. Maybe it is new type of music for you to explore for yourself that always help me to really get myself back into this place. So ask yourself, what are those places? What are those things that you can do to upgrade your mindset mentally, to upgrade your environment physically, so that you can be tapped back into the right headspace and the right energy, right? Okay, now, I know it's four things I do, but there is this final thing that I also want to offer is that don't put so much pressure on yourself. Okay. When you give yourself the pressure, the restriction, and all the rules of what you have to follow, that's when it actually feels very, very hard. When taking actions feel like an obligation, you actually don't want to do it even more. And so what I like to do, the question I always ask myself is, what would the spirit of my business want me to do? If I can do anything I want, if I can feel anything I want, what would be that easy, gentle step forward that feels nice, that is not pressure in any way, right? What would the spirit of my business from like this most gentle and loving place, what would they want me to do? And when I meditated and when I sat with this question, the first thing that comes out for me is just share from your heart. Share honesty about what you're going through because this can probably help someone today as well. And this is why I'm recording this podcast episode for you. And I find that this is often what I ask myself as well to get myself back into momentum of doing things again, of feeling like um I can do something again, right? Is to ask yourself, what would you want me to do? What would I like to do from a non-restrictive, non-pressured way? Small actions that can really take you a long way. Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you are feeling this way as well, just know that you're not alone and that it is totally possible for you to get yourself out of this place. I always like to think about every time after winter, there's always spring. Like it doesn't matter how hard it is, how long it takes, spring always comes. And this is the same thing with like cycles as well, right? Doesn't matter how much of a rut that you feel like you're in. Um, Take it easy and be so gentle with yourself and know that when you really give yourself the space and the gentleness to truly rest and to truly fill up your own cup, there will be a time when you feel ready and you will know when you feel ready to come back. You really will. All right. Have an amazing week, everybody. I believe in you. You got this. Life is hard. And let yourself believe that it is possible that it can be easy as well. And just let yourself flow with what feels right for you today. All right. I will talk to you next week. Bye.